Hi Earthlings, I'm Trice, and in this video I'm going to share with you the 5 signs that you definitely will be rich one day. I was pondering why I was not as rich as I thought I should be, and I realized I wasn't doing the last 2 signs. So don't let this happen to you. Before we get started, if you want the map to Think Rich, you can download it for free in the description below. Change your thoughts, change your life. The first sign that you will be rich one day is if you do work that employs your strengths. What do I mean by that? Let me showcase. Imagine you're a terrible speller. I'm a terrible speller, and I try to enter a spelling bee. It's going to take me a lot more effort than somebody who's already naturally good at spelling to have a chance of winning the gold prize. As obvious as this seems, it's difficultly hard to know what our strengths are sometimes. Why? Well-meaning people that loved us, might have taught us not to use them. I grew up with loving, supportive parents who wanted the best for me. And so they taught me the best way they knew how to succeed. And I come from a family of corporate ladder climbers. Here's the ring, you go up, you go up, you go up, and you excel. However, I did not excel at that path. I was a born entrepreneur, but I was taught that entrepreneurship is risky, not good, scary, going the wrong direction. Don't do that. And it was ingrained so much in me that I kept trying to do it the right way, the corporate ladder way, and it didn't work. So how did I find out my secret superpowers? I will leave a link in the description below of 2 quizzes that help you. They're not personality tests. They are instinct tests. Left to your own device, how would you solve this problem? Would you read the manual, or would you just try to put it together? It's your instinct. And when you do things that are aligned with your natural instinct, you have an inborn advantage. You'll know you're using your strengths when there is a sense of ease, joy, adventure. You like doing what you're doing. And if you just look at this through an energy perspective, it's pretty obvious. If you're feeling ease, flow, freedom, those are the vibrations of wealth. Money has no choice but to show up for you. Now, if you're big into the law of attraction, this second sign is going to be effortless for you. Sign number 2 that you will definitely be rich one day is if you are a pro at being able to live in the end and hold the vibration of your manifestation before it unfolds. You see, one of the biggest reasons people are not successful is they just give up before it appears in their reality. So people that are into the law of attraction have kind of an inside advantage because they know what vibration they put out and hold and continue to vibe at will be attracted into their reality as long as they continue to hold the vibration. J.K. Rowling was a master at this. For 7 long years, she wrote Harry Potter before she got the first one published, after dozens of rejections. So let me ask you, have you ever tried something 12 times, heard no, and continued to go forward? She believed so hardcore in her manifestation, her books, that even by the 3rd book, she had already written 3, and 3 had been produced. She still said she was as poor as possibly could be without being homeless in modern Britain. And she had already written and published 3 of the books, and that was her reality. And yet she continued to hold the vision, and we know now she's a billionaire and one of the richest women in the world. However, would it not have been so easy to give up many times along the way? That story was 15 years in the unfolding. Now, how do you have this unshakable vision? Everything is perspective, and when you shift your perspective, you will unlock the ocean of wealth that's lying in front of you. If you remember to do this. Sign number 3 that you will be rich one day is if you are consistently investing. Don't let your eyeballs glaze over. Don't say, I don't have the money. Let me showcase why this is so important. We have been sold a lie. We have been taught to get good jobs, and if we work really hard, then we will get the grand prize of retiring at 102. However, the truth is, your job will not make you rich. If you look around at almost everybody, 99% of people and the wealthy people, they got rich via investing. Building a business, investing in the stock market, or investing in real estate. Almost all wealth can be deduced to those 3 avenues. Now, the hiccup for most of us is we don't have any money to invest. I'm just barely getting by. So if that is you, I have a way around this. All you do is promise to yourself that you will invest your future raise increases. Lots of people here in America get 3% raise increase a year. So when my clients say that they have no money to invest, I say, well, will you promise that future raise 2% of it to investing? And they say yes. And this simple trick has not only had a client go from no possibility of retiring. She had no money at 53. 9 years later, she has over $500,000 because each year she just invested 2% more of her raises and kept 1 for herself. Now, there is also another mistake that a lot of people make. I had a client, she started and she was 25 years old. And she was investing, but she did not want to lose money. And so almost all her investments were in bonds, which are very low risk, but very low return. Her portfolio would have about a 3% rate of return, which would mean it would take 24 years for her account to double. And this is a tricky mirage. Nobody likes losing money. Nobody likes to see the balance go down. However, she wasn't risking very much because she potentially had 40 years of time to retirement. So I said, let's invest in big blue chip companies, Disney, Apple, Microsoft, stable, long-term companies that have more like an 8% return. She started 7 years ago with a net worth of negative $6,000 because she had all these student loans. And her net worth is almost $300,000 today. You cannot work harder. The trick is making your money work harder. And you can watch this video on how to start investing in the stock market if you want. Or if you're really at a loss and don't have any money to invest, I'm going to show you how to do it in this 4th tip. Sign number 4 that you'll definitely be rich one day is if you consistently manage your money. What does that look like? It's learning how to keep a budget that feels expansive and flowing and giving your money marching orders, telling it what to do for you each month. Now, if your mind draws a blank, join Rich Girl Academy. It makes it simple and fun. I want you to think of money like a dog, like man's best friend. It is so caring and giving. You can abuse it, you can throw it on the ground, but it always comes back to you and says, Master, what would you like me to do for you? Give me marching orders and I will work 24/7 without complaint. So managing your money is learning how to employ your money to make it multiply. That's all it is. And your money will happily do this. This is why wealth has the freedom of ease and joy, because you have another faithful friend working hard for you. Most of my clients, their money now makes them more money than their paycheck. And this isn't geniuses. I have a client, she earns $75,000 a year. This year, her money made her almost $125,000. And 7 years ago, she had diddly squat. Oh, not true. She had $25,000 of credit card debt. It's simply telling your money what to do. So if you know how to do that and you feel like, I got this, Give yourself a gold star because you definitely will be rich one day. Now here come my 2 epic mistakes because I missed these signs. So don't let that happen to you. Sign number 5 that you will be rich one day is if you are hanging around with people that have what you desire. And it's easier for me to showcase this on a couple stories because I heard this information wrong and did not do this step because I interpreted this as only hang around rich people because they have money, which really turned me off because that would mean I'd have to get rid of pretty much everybody I grew up with. But when I show you a couple stories, you're going to see what I mean. For example, we've all heard of Oprah. Now, why is Oprah a billionaire with a net worth of $3.5 billion instead of just a millionaire like her counterparts, Sally Jessy Raphael, Donahue, Jerry Springer, all these people that had talk shows around the same time? The secret is not because she's so much smarter, but she got the deal of a lifetime. She was getting a $30,000 wage increase, and she was ecstatic over the moon. The people that offered the gig were saying, "Oprah, you got such a good deal. You are such a lucky lady." A little red flag went up in her mind. She's like, "Nobody has ever told me that I got a great deal." And so all she did was ask her other actor friend to look at her deal. And he's like, "It stinks. It's terrible. You are toast. They are screwing you. Check out my manager. Have him look at it and negotiate a deal for you." And instead of her getting a little breadcrumb, she ended up buying the whole company simply because she listened to her intuition and had an actor friend to ask. Now, maybe Oprah's unrelatable. When I was looking for a premium bartending job, I just put it out to my other actor friends in the city that I'm looking for a premium bartending job. And one friend happened to have a friend who just got to be a hostess at this premium place. Even if you know no one, simply be in the group of the people that talk about the thing that you want to. I have a private Facebook group for my Rich Girl Academy. They are all talking about money. And because they're sharing information, it makes all of them richer. So if you are doing this, it is a sure sign that you will be wealthy. And I am living proof of how much it has handicapped me because I'm an introvert. I'm shy and I like to just stay in my nest and create. But now that I see that this weakness that it has created, I am making it an intention to reach out to people that I find interesting. And I'll leave you with one little bonus tip. By just using the power of words. A bonus sign that you will definitely be rich one day if you do this. Promote your value. I had a client who earned exactly the same amount of money, if you count in inflation, for 10 years. She kept sitting there doing a great job, saying, "They will notice my work. They will notice that I'm doing a good job." They never did. They gave her her 3% increase raise. And so one year I said, let's do something different. Let's walk in there before raises, 6 months before raises, and ask them, are you on track to receive a wild raise, like 8% or 10%? She stated her intention with clarity to people that had the power to shift her reality. Now, was this scary for her? Absolutely. Did she not want to do it? Absolutely. But she did do it. And she got a 10% raise that year. And so I said to her, well, it works so good on year 1, let's try on year 2. And she got really angry about that whole thing and said, how could I ask for more? Are you guys seeing the lack of worthiness? Now, this does not work, obviously, if you slack off and you're not a hard worker, obviously, but she was a very hard worker. She was just not owning her self-worth, the value that she brought to the company, the reliability. And so on year 2, she was brave enough. She said, I want to be vice president of the company. How do I do that? Within 3 months of her asking that question, they moved her to the management offices. And fast forward 3 years later, her new income is $160,000. The only thing that she did different was state her intention of what she wants and tell somebody that would not only be supportive, but that had the power to change her reality. This was a big money block. So if you find it scammy or skeevy that anybody is promoting to you or selling you stuff, and it really makes you angry, there's a high probability that there is a money block, and that what you don't want others to do, you won't allow yourself to do, even if you have something extremely valuable. And the only reason I know this is because I carried this money block for over 40 years of my life and was wondering why I'm not ahead. I was unwilling to shout it from the rooftops that I provide immense value. So I never advertised in 12 years. I would just simply do great work and accept referrals. So if that is you, all you have to do is be a little brave, tie on that cape, and sing your value from the rooftops. You will attract your tribe. And until next time, my darling earthlings, ciao.